But first up, the President's Cup. House of Folk took on Kumasi Asante Kotoko at the Crack Sports Stadium. The Phobians won by 2-1.
Salim Adams here, good play there from the young man. Gets a return of the ball. Salim here, two players. Dealt with Fatal here, looking to advertise this one in here. Ball headed down, opportunity, and that's it. Efia Bania gets the goal there for Accra Heart of Folk. It was Salim. It all started by Salim here, and he found space on the right hand side. Fatal Mohammed advertised this one. A bit junior failed to deal with it. Oh, what a strike there from this man. Last time giving the ball away. And Kumasi Asante Kotoko gets equalizer. And I tell you what. Just look at that. Well, it was poorly dealt with. It was Robert Adosoa who just missed that. And Boateng, well, again, he came off the body, trying to ricochet the body of Mo Alassane. Absolutely amazing. He simply is a beast when it comes to this 1v1 situation. Oh, plaudits. Calm it is there for this man. And so there you go. The champions for 2022. The Gaka President's Cup. It all went to Accra Heart of Oak. 2-1 win against Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
All right, so House of Folk so used to finishing on the podium. In the last 8 months, they finished on the podium at least 3 times. That is incredible. They won the Ghana Premier League, they won the FA Cup, and now they've won the President's Cup. It's almost non-stop, House of Folk. Put a trophy there, and they know how exactly to win it. Coach, on Friday, we were doing the show while watching the game as well. House of Folk took the lead, Kotoko came back, and then they finished the game. From a Heart of Folk point of view, you would be very excited about the way the goal was scored, especially the winning goal. Kotoko fans will be very disappointed in their coach and the conduct of their players in the way they allowed Patrick Razak to get through on goal in the 89th minute. Game is almost done. Every single Kotoko player in the opponent's half. It made no sense. But
I will address that at the later.
A little later.
When during my submission. But look, to be honest with you, proud of the game. Everybody was saying Kotoko is the team on form.
Which was true.
Yeah. But that got to the players. They got into the game believing that come what may, they will beat House of Oak. And their body language when the game started, their commitment level, everything was a bit suspicious. And when you look at the manner in which, even in that first half, the House of Oak goalkeeper never made a save. He had no save to make. But in that same first half, Dan Ladd has put together 3 world-class saves. I just can't imagine how he kept that Sulemuntari free kick.
Yeah, from I remember that.
Look,
that was a good save.
Only other day, that ball has ended in the back of the net.
Yeah.
But look at the shape of the Kotoko team. I don't know whether it was a diamond formation or he was trying to be a bit smart, wanted to impose himself in the middle of the park. Where there was Blade, there was Lamte, there was Mudasiru, and then there was another chap. And then Mbega and Vele. I told you that those 2 guys, they will continue to experience the El Clasico.
I was very surprised how dominant House of Folk were in the middle of the park, especially where Kotoko seemed to have the best talent.
I've always said that.
It was inexplicable. Salim just basically run the day.
Look, I've spoken highly about that boy.
Yeah.
I think
he's going. I mean, I read the news the last time that House of Folk may not be able to pay the asking price that Edibiase asking for, and he's going back to the club.
Of course, no, of course they cannot take him back to Edibiase. If he's leaving House of Folk, then he's leaving the shores of Ghana. Yeah. He's too good a talent. Look at his physique, his height, his ability. He's too good a talent to go and be wasted.
No, obviously, Edibiase will take him.
They will take him, and then. But look, this is one boy that Abdusalam. I know he's watching this program.
Yeah,
Abdusalam, please, Chama, if you are listening, don't take this boy anywhere at all. Take him to at least one of the 5 best leagues in Europe.
You mean you shouldn't take him to just anywhere for money?
Of course, not because of them, because that boy is
Maybe
an
France,
asset. It's an
even
asset
the
to
Netherlands.
Ghana. My first choice would be France or the Netherlands, to be honest with you. Because he's too good a player.
Very
His
talented.
composure, his height, he does almost everything. So on Friday, he made his presence felt. And for me, I was shocked, but not too shocked. I was shocked because Kotoko had Blay, they had Mudasiru, they had Lamte.
Yeah.
Yet still,
Very experienced
Salim
guys.
completely manhandled all of them at a goal. And for me, the Kotoko team, we've always spoken about their 2 centre-backs. We've always said that the number of chances they've given away in the league, if our other teams have been very, very clinical against Kotoko, I'm not sure they'll be leading the league this
concede chances a lot.
Too many of them.
Yeah.
Now, let me address the goal that eventually won the game. Look, the blame must be put on the coaches first. The blame must be put on the players who came to do the defensive work. Because if you go back to that goal, Kotoko had a free kick. So their 2 centre-backs actually went forward to see whether they could help knock the ball into the back of the net of Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
So those players who came to what? To cover up for them. You don't see your opponent standing all alone by himself and not get anybody closer to him. Naturally, the coaches should have seen that normally on set pieces, when you lose the ball as the team in possession of the ball, the transition of the other team is so quick that, and the spaces there for them to exploit usually is immense.
Yeah.
So if you go back to that goal again, it was a 3v1. In this particular picture we are seeing, you see 2 of the Kotoko players actually chasing Razak.
Yeah.
But before the pass was made, Razak would actually
Everybody was in Hasselhoff's
half with 3 Kotoko players, none of them not having the intelligence
and the awareness of presence of mind.
That is it. It was free. And I was shocked. There wasn't any communication between the 3 of them. Nobody could have said, look, Charlie, he's closer to you, so make sure you close him and make sure you pick him up.
Normally, for me, my disappointment with this goal, not like the biggest. Obviously, the sequence that you
that led to the
indicated, that was all poor. But I also felt like, for example, if the goalkeeper came out earlier,
he couldn't.
Razak could have. You see, I am saying that because of the player Patrick Razak.
No, but don't say that. Technically, give Razak the benefit of the doubt. Because the reason why Danla couldn't have come earlier, because he saw that his defenders were chased, so he needed to.
Because Razak has had his head
down here, but of course
the whole time
now here he's raising his head.
So my point is that I'm saying that if he had come out earlier, it would have allowed the defenders to be able to overlap and cover.
No, you see.
So by the time Patrick had gone wide and come back inside.
Don't forget, those defenders, if they had covered him, they cannot save the ball with their hands. They are restricted and limited. But the reason why he couldn't come out, the ball was too far off from the box. Razak picked the ball in the half of Hasselhoff, and I think he made about 3 or 4 touches before he actually saw Danlad in front of him and then went past him and planted the ball in the back. But if I'm a coach and I'm assessing this, I will not blame the goalkeeper.
At all.
I will blame
the
lack of intelligence on the part of those who came to cover the 2 centre-backs of Kotoko.
Danny, I don't know what you want to pick on this game. Boydie said even if he uses the Hasselhoff youth team,
no, he should stop saying that.
Hold on.
It doesn't show respect.
Yes, it doesn't, obviously. But he said it, and he's shown up in a game where everybody expected Kotoko to go and win, and he's won it. I mean, what does that say about, for example, the mentality of the 2 teams, perhaps, and even Boydie's own record against Kotoko, which, as things stand,
it's still intact.
He hasn't tasted
excellent.
For Boydie, it's a personal thing for him, so you can understand why he said that. And you see, he said that in response to something that
Prosper had
said. So you can understand why he was a bit agitated and made those statements. But that is in the past. I am impressed with not the whole team, but with Salim in particular.
Yeah,
because we saw him 2 weeks ago against Kotoko, and he was piss poor. He was subbed after, I think, 50 minutes. Yeah. He got a yellow card in that. He was all over the place. He could not impose himself. And you could tell in that game that the occasion had gotten to him, and he couldn't. So in 2 weeks, for him to learn, credit to the technical team for preparing him, for having faith in him to play him again from the start in this game. And for him to go out and also make his presence felt. It wasn't just the passing, it was the body language, the composure. Anytime he picked up the ball, he didn't rush the issue.
Yeah.
And you also have to credit somebody like Suleiman Tari on the pitch, who was very vocal.
Very vocal.
Literally micromanaging the players on the pitch, asking them when to calm down, when to pass the ball, who to pass the ball to. And that is the experience that Hearts of Oak knew they were getting when they went out to bring him back in at 37 years old. He's seen it, he's done it all, and he brought it to bear in the game against Kotoko. Another thing that also impressed me was Hearts of Oak's resilience. We've seen throughout this season where they go out, they take the lead, they dominate, they should be 2-3-0 up, and then they concede, and after conceding, they crumble. But in this game, you could tell. Even, you see, when the set piece came, if you watch the movement of Patrick Razak, he was dropping in to go and defend. And then Boedi was telling him to, yes, keep up, continue. Like,
it was very
don't
direct
drop deep.
instruction from him.
Don't drop deep, because there could be a chance. And you see, what I loved about the Patrick Razak goal was that when Hearts intercepted the ball, they didn't instantly go long.
Yeah.
They picked 2-3 passes. You could tell this was a worked out sequence. 2-3 passes, and the ball was laid to him. So they didn't rush the chance. And that is something we've seen Hearts of Oak do throughout the season, where when they are panicking, they go for the long ball when it's not necessary, they rush the shot. But this time they were very composed and they picked out the chance. And Patrick Razak also, you alluded to it in the last statement you made to coach about Danla coming out. We have to credit him because we know his composure is not the best. His finishing is not the best. But he took his time. At that point in the game, he knew that was basically the last chance of the game. And he showed great composure, taking his time, going past the goalkeeper and slotting into the back of the net. Unfortunately for us, they would have wished that this came in the league game against Kotoko because they had enough opportunities. Had that composure been there, they could have won that game. But this is something that should give them confidence going into the second round. And you see, it just reminds the teams in the league that Kotoko is beatable. Of course. They can't concede chances if we are calm, if we are composed.
Their next game is against Bechim,
exactly,
who are in a very good position as well.
That is
and they are going away.
They're going away. That is a tough one. So
this
this game has come at the right point for everybody in the season. It just injects the league with more excitement going forward. And I'm especially happy that Etuga once again has had a bad game against Hearts. I'm saying I'm happy because everybody thought he was unplayable. Then he came up against Hearts of Oak in the league game. He had a poor game. You would have thought that he would have tried to impose himself on this game. It's happened again. And you see, for the defenders in the Ghana Premier League, it just tells them once again that you can't do a job against him. He is not Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. You can do a job against him if you are disciplined, if you are composed, you can. So then, I'm saying it just brings back more excitement into the league. This wasn't a league game, but it's two teams who are competing in the league. And from Tuesday, they are playing the outstanding game. We see what happens there.
Certainly. So that's that. Congratulations to Hearts of Oak winning the President's Cup, of course.